An empty space at the table, a familiar voice no longer heard, traditions never quite the same. As we approach the holiday season, I want to acknowledge that this time of year can be particularly difficult for those of us who have experienced loss. The pain of loss can be overwhelming over the holidays, but it doesn't have to stop you from moving forward. I'm Nicole Bright. I'm an award-winning writer, a memoir instructor, and like you, a student of grief. Mine is an unruly grief narrative of a sudden and unexpected loss when I was a teenager, a loss that I didn't grieve for decades. And whenever I got too close to the pain of it, I'd protect my wounded heart by shutting the door on it hard and fast. But by keeping the door shut, I had also lost access to all the good parts of the story, the love, the joy, and the fun. Finally, I decided to find a way to stay open, and I haven't looked back since. Writing about this loss changed everything. But this isn't a video about my grief story or how I released my pain or wrote a new chapter. That comes later. This video is about acceptance. It's about accepting that the holidays tend to magnify feelings of loss, intensifying our grief for absent loved ones. I just want to say that it's okay to not be okay. Grief doesn't adhere to a schedule. It can hit you out of nowhere, the simplest things at the mundanest of times, especially if you're trying to be joyous for those who are still with you. Often it can morph into this weird cocktail of emotions that have you laughing one moment and crying the next. The holidays just don't feel the same anymore, and that's okay. Grief needs to be expressed, to be released. And the only one who can do that is you. Your grief is unique to you. The story you and your loved ones shared is unique to you, and so are all your memories and feelings about them. So take the time to honor those memories and express your feelings in whatever way feels right to you. I know it can be hard, but by taking ownership of our stories and our grief, we can begin to process the pain and move forward. As a writer, the desire to journal about my feelings of grief after loss comes very naturally to me. And as someone who's learned a lot about grief by guiding and supporting writers as they tell their hard stories, I just want to remind you how important self-care is. You don't have to navigate your grief alone. Please reach out to friends, family, and support groups as you wend your way through grief over the holidays. And if you feel your story is calling you to be written, a journal can be just the right place to express your feelings without fear of being judged by others. So with that in mind, I have created something special for you. It's a tried and tested narrative therapy and process that will help you gently release your pain, honor your loved one and your story, and empower yourself to write a new chapter. So I'll be back next week with more details about what I've been cooking up for you. Until then, I just want to remind you, please be gentle with yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.